Hi guys, I'm Maddie. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Today I want to have more of like a candid, casual conversation about Gourmand fragrances, about some of the ones that I have and just about what Gourmand fragrances are overall. So if you're interested in that, make sure to watch till the end. So before we do move on, I want to remind you to subscribe to this channel so that you can show your support towards me, and also to pass by my Instagram and Facebook pages. So I do want this to be a little bit more of a candid conversation about the term gourmand, and most of the fragrances that I will be showing you are women's fragrances, some unisex, but I also be mentioning male gourmand fragrances. And this term in French actually has nothing to do with food. It actually means greedy, and it came to be associated with food because I think somewhere in the mid 20th century, food-like fragrances or fragrances that smell like food started to be developed, but it was not actually till the 90s with Angel from Mugler, which is like the queen of gourmand fragrances. Like, this is what comes to mind every time I think about gourmand fragrance, that the more edible association or connotation started to be associated with this term. Nowadays, gourmand fragrances are notable for just being edible smelling fragrances, so they usually contain notes of honey, candy like Prada candy, chocolate, even amber. I feel like aids in the creaminess, even though it's not necessarily an edible note, but also notes like cinnamon, chocolate, and even stuff like praline, and of course vanilla. And the most gourmands that we do know are known to be olfactory desserts, fragrances that smell like desserts essentially. Fragrances that are smelling like food and are not necessarily sweet are starting to become a little more popular, especially for men, because a lot of men shy away from ultra sweet fragrances. Some very famous gourmand fragrances that I do not have with me at the moment, but that I do want to share with you so that you get some perspective, are for men, for instance, Le Male from Jean Paul Gaultier, Lolita Olympica. There's also Dior Homme Intense, which I know is like super popular right now, Bonbon from Victor and Rolf, and then my favorite of the ones that I do not own and that I do want to purchase when I get a chance is Hypnotic Poison from Dior. I think that is, it's my favorite gourmand of all time. And of course for men, Pure Malt and just many other fragrances from Mugler, like the Angel ones and its flankers, are perfect gourmand fragrances that you can start taking a look at. So one of my favorite gourmand fragrances in my collection is Jimmy Choo Fever. I know the original is also very edible smelling, and I love that one as well, but I feel like this one is a little bit more fun. And this one, I guess the main gourmand notes are the tonka bean, the caramel, and I believe it has some hazelnut as well, though it smells a lot like vanilla and tonka bean to me. It also smells a little bit like Bonbon from Victor and Rolf, if you know that fragrance. So these are two of my favorite gourmand fragrances, and I wanted to sort of show them together, like Stas from Ricci and Nuit, only because they smell very, very similar. If you have smelled them, you know what I'm talking about. They both have pear at the opening, I think. Like Stas has raspberry and the Nuit has strawberry. They both have caramel, vanilla, I think patchouli, but then La Nuit is a lot more chocolatey. Like Stas doesn't really have chocolate notes, it instead has more floral notes and musk. So although they do have some basic differences in there, like I'm saying, they smell very, very similar and last a very long time, and are both very intense fragrances that are very, very sweet and huge compliment getters. The main difference, I would say, is that La Nuit is a little bit more fun, a little bit better for a night out, and the Nina Ricci one is more mature, more sophisticated maybe, and a little bit more mysterious, I would say. I have here Musk Flame from Samy Andraus, and I actually wanted to check with him that this is something that you could consider gourmand. And he agreed it's more like a loose interpretation of a gourmand fragrance. It's not super gourmand like the other ones that I have shown, because the notes here are amber, patchouli, sandalwood, musk, vanilla, vetiver, cinnamon, and floral notes. So the cinnamon and the vanilla do give it a very, like I was saying, gourmand vibe, but it's not exactly gourmand. Still one that I've been really enjoying lately because of the cinnamon notes, and that proves that you can have something that's a little bit sweet without being super overpowering. And of course, I have to talk really quick about Angel. As I've said in the past, this is a bomb of a perfume. It is a classic, really good reason, and it has, I feel like it just set the scene for Gourmand fragrances to come because it has all of the Gourmand notes. It has cinnamon, vanilla, honey, I think it might have caramel, I'm not sure, vanilla of course, chocolate, even coconut there, and a very strong patchouli. It is extremely long lasting, and it's like a very sort of dirty chocolate cake, if that makes any sense. Other really common and popular Gourmand fragrances are fragrances like Black Opium with the coffee and the vanilla, and also Viva La Juicy, and a lot of the Viva La Juicy or the Juicy Couture fragrances overall. This one in particular has a lot of caramel that it's very notorious for. It also has praline, vanilla, and amber. And I've noticed a lot of gourmands have amber. I'm not really sure if it just kind of helps with the creaminess overall, but it definitely is a very prominent note. I will say though, out of all the Gourmand fragrances that I have tried thus far, my favorite is Hypnotic Poison from Dior, the one that comes in like a red apple. The other Toilette, I think the parfum is a little bit too strong for my taste. And I really just love the combination of all the notes, but especially the coconut, the vanilla, and the almond there are very hypnotic, just like the title suggests. And it is extremely long lasting. It's one of the longest lasting fragrances that I have experienced on my skin. So especially now that fall is coming, I really do hope to get a chance to try that one out. So that was it for my suggestions for Gourmand fragrances, and just I hope you learned about something new about Gourmand fragrances overall. If you enjoyed this video, please leave me a thumbs up, a comment as to why you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe and also to pass by my social media pages.